Hey, house guests. Welcome to today's Big Brother 24 updates and spoilers. Happy Saturday. Hope you're all having a great day so far. Our house guests of the day are Christine Sandusky and Mario Mazzone. Thank you both so much for the support. We could not do this without you, and we appreciate it so, so much. So thank you again. And special shout out to Mario's mom. Hi. If you guys want to be house guests today, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. It's only $1 for holla, and it's a lot of fun. I also, before we get started, want to thank yesterday's super chatters because that's another fantastic way to support our channel. So, John S., Michelle, Christian Torres, Sammy Ricketts, Sean Davis, Vajrath, Shane Wright, Flower Power Resists, Lori McIntyre, William Dang, Catherine, and Dane Thomas. Thank you all so much for your super chats. We really do appreciate that. Oh, did the feeds just go to animals? They must have just started that. Oh my goodness. Okay, that's exciting. We need to get these POV player picks going, but we'll get there. So, without further ado, let's get started. When we left off yesterday, it was a mess. It was a mess in that house because Turner, the HOH, had promised everyone safety. He's got his new alliance, the After Party, which is Turner, Kyle, Alyssa, and Terrence. And their plan going into this week was to put up Taylor and Brittany and backdoor Michael. So they're all expecting him to do that. But upon reuniting with the Big Brochella house guests, Turner remembered, wow, I really love these people. They've kept me safe the whole time. I'm going to feel like a jerk if I turn on them right now. So Turner was telling all the leftovers as he was meeting with them, I'm leftovers until I die. I'm going to put up Terrence and Alyssa. And he let the leftovers know, I had to make promises of safety to Terrence and Alyssa last week just so I could survive the week and make it through. But I'm going to go back on those because I'm with you guys. So a big reason for this decision where Turner was like, I'm going to put up Terrence and Alyssa is because Turner does not want to make this 4 leftovers versus 4 after party goers when 2 people in the after party suck at competitions, Terrence and Alyssa. Turner's really nervous that a lot of weight is going to be on Kyle and his shoulders to win competitions to get those 4 to the end. But Kyle kept pushing that they really need to split up Taylor, Michael, and Brittany this week. Those 3 are tight. Joseph was telling us that they tried to make a final 4 with him. So they're going to target us before the leftovers get to the final 6. We cannot let this happen. So Kyle proposed to Turner, let's take out Michael this week and pull Monte over to the after party. So it'll be 5 versus 2 if we can take out Michael. So pair that with Monty's one-on-one session with Turner. Monty really spilled some beans during his one-on-one. He let Turner know, yes, he does still want to work with the Pound, which used to be Turner, Kyle, Monty, and Joseph, but now without Joseph, it's only 3 puppies in there. But Brittany, he says, Brittany, Michael, and Taylor tried to pull me into a final 4 last week while we were at Big Brochella. And they were pushing that you and Kyle should be the first to go from the leftovers. So Monty's giving out a lot of important info here. There was also lots of talk about how Brittany and Michael are trying to play the middle of the leftovers. They set Kyle up during Taylor's HOH week by giving mixed messages about whether or not they wanted Kyle to use the power of veto and to take Alyssa out. So people are realizing more and more as they compare notes, wow, Brittany and Michael, super sketchy that week. We cannot have that. So Kyle, Monty, and Turner all met together. They compared notes, and they decided they do want to continue working together, the 3 of them. And the plan that they came up with, what do you know, is the same plan that the after party had going into this week. They want to nominate Taylor and Brittany and backdoor Michael. And if they can't get Michael, then Taylor would become the new target. So Turner decided to spice things up, and he was not telling the nominees ahead of time that they're going up. So they're going into that ceremony thinking, oh, Alyssa and Terrence are going up on the block. The leftovers are back together. La-zee-za. Oh, my God. Okay, so, however, this is all still before the nomination ceremony. Turner did check in with Alyssa and Terrence because he wanted to make sure that they were cool with Monte joining their alliance. And Alyssa seemed like pretty fine with it. She was like, whatever. When is she ever not like that? When somebody's talking to Kyle? I don't know. But Terrence was a little bit nervous because Monte knows that Terrence threw the OTAV competition a few weeks ago in an effort to get Monte evicted. Remember, he wanted to throw the POV so that he could stay up on the block with Joseph and Monte, and then Monte would get voted out, even though, like, he wouldn't have. Yeah, so Terrence is a little bit worried there might still be some bad energy between him and Monte, but Turner is reassuring Terrence, we can move past that. It's going to be okay. All right, so they had the nomination ceremony, and Turner does, in fact, put up Taylor and Brittany. Oh my God, what a mess! They were not prepared for this. So Brittany is talking to Turner in the HOH room after the ceremony, and apparently Turner is using the excuse that Joseph said Taylor and Brittany tried to make a final 3 deal with him. And Brittany says that's just not the truth. And honestly, it's really not. I don't recall there ever being the discussion about starting up a final 3 with Brittany, Taylor, and Joseph. There was talk of a potential final 4 that is for real with Joseph, Brittany, Michael, and Taylor. And he did talk about that with the Dyer Festival goers. We saw that on the feeds. However, maybe there was talk of a final 3, or maybe Joseph did say that. I mean, even if it wasn't true, maybe he said that and we just didn't see it because the feeds were off so much last week. But it's also possible maybe Turner just kind of like took the actual information about the final 4 and turned it into a final 3 thing just to keep Michael out of that whole situation for now, since he is the backdoor target. But like, he doesn't want Michael to know about that just yet. So I don't know if that was twisted by Turner. I don't know if Joe made that up. Like, I don't know what the deal was on that. But that is Turner's story, and he's sticking to it. So Brittany is crying, and Turner's like, I get it. It's really hard. Being blindsided about going up on the block is the worst. Why'd you do it? You know how bad it sucks. He really wanted that blindside, though. Turner tells Brittany, as a friend, I really care about you, and I'm sorry. This has to be, like, brutal for Brittany at this point, because prior to this, Turner's conversations with Brittany leading up to this were like, oh my God, I trust you so much. Like, you were one of the first people to ever talk game with me. He was, like, really laying it on thick, and then to put her up on the block, yikes. So Brittany says, Taylor must have been trying to pull strings behind my back, and maybe she was talking to Joseph about setting up a final 3, but like, I was never a part of that. So she's immediately just like throwing Taylor under the bus here. So she's asking Turner, what should I do? What do I do moving forward? And Turner says, well, I fully expect Michael to win the power veto this week. I'm sure he's going to pull you down. You're not going to go home this week. But how can you trust anything that Turner promises anymore? I mean, he's shown now you can't take his word. But Turner says you have to trust me, and Brittany says that she does trust Turner. I'm sure on the inside she's like, no, I effing don't. So again, Turner is putting the blame on the info that he got from Joseph. Brittany is putting the blame on Taylor. She does clarify that Taylor's proposal was a final 5 with her, Brittany, Michael, Monte, and Joseph, indicating that Kyle and Turner were supposed to be the first ones to go from the leftovers. But Brittany says, again, I did not agree to a final 3 with Taylor and Joseph. I didn't do it. So Turner is reassuring Brittany, you're not going to be going this week, but I had to put Taylor up because she is clearly not looking out for me if I wasn't part of her plan here for the end game. All right. Meanwhile, Terrence and Taylor are chatting in the car bedroom, and Terrence is talking about last week, saying Joseph had a million one-on-ones with everyone, which is funny because one of the stories that Dyer Fest is trying to sell is that they couldn't talk any game with each other because there was just no privacy in the backyard. But yet they're saying that Joseph had like a million one-on-ones with everyone. Pickle Lane. So Joseph said, Terrence is saying that Joseph said, if I was going to leave, I'm going to leave my mark. So Terrence says, we don't know if all of Joseph's info checks out or not. But Terrence says that Joseph was not his original target last week, which is a lie, because he was definitely Terrence's target all along. But Terrence's complaint is Terrence is saying, yes, Joseph. What am I saying? I'm so tired from all this and trying to keep all this shit straight. So Terrence is saying that Joseph was not his original target last week, but he pooched himself, right? He started spewing all of this information. It was too much, too many campaign chats, blah, blah, blah. So that's Terrence's story, and he's sticking with it. But Taylor she just feels like things are not adding up here. She's not sure why Joseph would try to throw her under the bus on the way out. You know, they had a fomance together, but there were some real feelings there as well. So, like, why would he do that? She said that Joseph was the one who came to her and said that he could see them going far with Brittany and Michael, you know, talking about maybe putting together a Final Four. So why is he now saying that Taylor was responsible for this? She really feels like she has been used and set up by Joseph. Dang. Okay, so to be clear, again, Joseph really did throw Taylor, Michael, and Brittany under the bus. I remember it very clearly. They were in the hot tub. Joseph was saying, Taylor, Michael, and Brittany are a tight 3. They proposed a Final Four deal to me. Again, I don't know that he said anything about a Final 3 with Taylor and Brittany. Turner might have used that in his own way in his speech. But again, the feeds were down so much from the backyard last week that who knows what else could have been said. And I believe Turner talked to the cameras at one point last night and was like, yeah, Joseph actually did say that. Like, it's a thing, apparently. I don't know. So anyway, I don't think Turner would lie to us, right? Okay, so Michael and Turner have a chat in the have not room. And Michael's just like, what's going on, Turner? You know, what's going on with these nominations? And Turner says, oh, I knew that you're going to be upset about these noms. He apologizes for putting Michael's friends up on the block. And Michael says, look, I want to be here really badly. I appreciate not being up on the block. So if that continues for the rest of the week, I'll be very happy. Yeah, it's probably not going to continue that way unless you win the power of veto, because we know that Michael is Turner's backdoor target. So Turner says, I had to go rogue with these nominations. I just don't think that Joseph would lie about that information that he gave me before he left. But he says Brittany was telling me that she didn't know about that Final 3, and I believe her. He says Taylor must have been making endgame plans that did not involve me, and I guess she just didn't get around to telling Brittany about it yet. But he says, I just think it's too early to be making plans like that. Okay, the pound. You've had that plan in place for a long time. But anyway, Turner says, I was a huge part of Taylor staying week 3, and I feel like she doesn't have my best interests at heart here. I mean, she's making endgame plans that don't include me. She's saying I should be one of the first 2 out of the leftovers. So, like, what's that all about? So Michael says, I feel like I should be mad about these nominations. But again, I'm just so happy that I'm not up there. But he says, you know, honestly, he was a little bit confused about the nominations based on the combos that he had with Turner leading up to it. You know, the conversations where Turner was like, I'm leftovers till I die. I'm putting up Terrence and Alyssa. That sort of thing. So Turner is claiming he had no idea what he wanted to do with these noms until he was pulling the keys out of the bag in the diary room right before nominations. Lies! Okay, so Michael's asking Turner, so would you prefer to see Taylor go this week? Like, what are you thinking? And Turner says, I love Brittany. I don't want her to go. I think she's innocent in all of this. And Turner says, I also love Taylor, but I think that she was starting this whole situation, this whole Final 3 thing. Now remember, this is just what Turner is saying to Michael, because Michael is Turner's actual target this week. Michael is target number 1. Taylor is the backup target, but he's not going to say that to Michael. So Michael's like, I get it. I just wish the leftovers could have gone to the final 6 together. It would have been sick. And Turner's like, I get what you're saying, but I didn't want to use my HOH to preserve the 6 and then be booted by my alliance in 6th place, because that's what he's hearing now, which is true. They were not going to keep Turner around long term. But he's like, yeah, I heard that they were making plans without me, so I wasn't going to like keep everybody safe and then allow them to take me out. So Michael again is saying, like, I get it. I love both Taylor and Brittany, but it's not the end of the world if one of them goes this week. Michael's in a situation right now where it's either one of them or him. So he's like, you know what? One of them can go. All right. So meanwhile, Kyle is whispering with Monty in the gym. And Kyle says, oh, last week was nuts. Kyle says, we'll explain everything to you, Monty. But you need to know it was a bloodbath between me and Joseph. Everything is out now with Alyssa and Terrence. Because of you. You're the one who told them. But he's not saying that. So Monty says, oh shit. Like what? Like leftovers? And Kyle says, everything. It reminds me of that kid in what's the baseball movie? The Sandlot. Forever. But he's saying everything. So Kyle says Joseph really went down swinging. He brought up every negative thing that I've said about Alyssa and Terrence. Every detail of everything is out there now. He said we all had like a 4-hour conversation together at Dyer Fest about everything, and Joseph was spinning stuff, but luckily for me, Turner was there to back me up. I guess that's what we saw a piece of on the episode. Can you imagine being able to watch that 4-hour conversation where all the information came out? I just feel like if we did watch it though, I'd be ripping my hair out because they would all be ganging up on Joseph at that point. Ah! But anyway, Kyle says, I just want you to know all this stuff so you can keep this in mind when you talk to Alyssa and Terrence, because Taylor, Michael, and Brittany are still denying everything when they talk to Alyssa and Terrence, and it's very frustrating for them. So maybe you take a proactive approach with Terrence and Alyssa, and you'll be good with them. Oh my God. All right. So then Brittany and Michael are chatting in the Jetsons' bedroom. And Michael says, I don't think that you or Taylor are actually Turner's target this week. Michael knows what's up. He knows that he is the biggest fish to fry. So Michael says, I think if you come down, I'm going up on the block. And if Taylor comes down, I think that Monty goes up. I don't get why he thinks that Monty would be the replacement nominee over him, but he almost figured it out completely. So Brittany says, well, he told me that Taylor is the target this week, so that means it's you. And then Brittany's like, because he's not going to tell Brittany that Michael's actually the target. So Michael says, yeah, it's me or Monty for sure. I'm just going to play nice and hope that Turner goes for Monty instead. So Brittany brings up, she feels like Alyssa is really testing her about the leftovers. She feels like Brittany knows, or not Brittany, she feels like Alyssa knows more than she's letting on. And it reminds Brittany of the same thing that they did to Indy and Jasmine, where they would ask, like, so you're not in any other alliances? And they're trying to get an answer out of them. And even if they say no, they already know that these people are in other alliances, so they can use that against them in the future. Like, I asked you about it, you said no. So Brittany can tell that Alyssa is doing that very thing to her now. So Brittany is telling Michael, I want to come clean to Alyssa about the leftovers, but I'm afraid that that's going to make me the target this week. Michael's like, I don't think it matters. I think they already know. Yeah. So you should probably go for it. I don't know. So Michael says, hopefully I will get picked to play for the veto. I'll win. I'll take you down, and then we'll both be safe this week. Right now, we just have to play nice, right? Don't put a bigger target on yourself. Taylor's really upset about how things went down, so maybe she'll end up shooting herself in the foot. We don't know. So Brittany says it just sucks because this final three thing that she's being accused of with Joseph and Taylor wasn't even a real thing. And she's like, yeah, I know we've done that to a lot of people where we'll like come up with reasons that may not be true, but I didn't think that I would actually get caught up in something like this. Ugh. Okay, so Michael says these stories are not lining up. He's already seeing cracks in these stories. Alyssa said that she knew that Taylor and Brittany were going up on the block. And Brittany's like, yeah, right before nominations came out, Alyssa like squeezed my leg as if she knew it was coming. So Michael says, but when I talked to Turner, he said he didn't tell anyone what he was going to do. And he made his decision right before the ceremony. Ooh, looks like Alyssa's already effing up here. I mean, she's asking a lot of questions that would make it seem like she knows about the leftovers, which she wasn't supposed to do. She's saying that she knew who the nominees were going to be. So, like, this girl, she cannot be trusted with any information. But Michael is trying to pump Brittany up. He's like, we've been in way worse situations before. We can do this. We just got to keep it together. Brittany's just really frustrated because she just feels like this is a free ticket to the end for Terrence and Alyssa. And they agree, you know what? If the leftovers screw us over and they take Terrence and Alyssa to the end, we're going to vote for Terrence or Alyssa to win over the remaining leftovers. Ugh! Do you think they'd actually do that, or are they going to get over it by finale night? I don't know. But it's interesting. So anyway, Taylor and Michael have a chat in the Jetsons' bedroom. And they're trying to make sense of everything here because it's just not adding up. So Michael says he had no idea that Taylor and Brittany were going up on the block, which is true. Taylor says there was never a final three with her, Joseph, and Brittany, which again, that is also true. And Michael's like, I believe that. Even if it was true, it doesn't matter. You know, Joseph's out of here, whatever. So they agree. It just doesn't make sense that Joseph would throw two people from Brochella under the bus to try and get the votes to stay last week at Dyer Fest. Like, why would you use that strategy? And as confusing as it is, Joseph did try to throw people under the bus from Brochella, but they're not getting the full story here. So Taylor says, again, Joseph was the one who initially pitched to her the idea of a Final Four with the two of them, Michael and Brittany. And Michael's like, okay, cool, that's great. He's speculating maybe the people from Dyer Fest are using Joseph as a scapegoat for everything. Yeah, I mean, pretty much, right? They figure Joseph is out of here. He can't talk about any of this stuff, so they're just going to have to take our word for it. So Brittany's not in this conversation. Michael and Taylor, they know that they're in a bad spot this week because even if Michael wins the power veto and saves one of the nominees, Dyer is still going to have the votes to do whatever they want. They only need 3 votes to evict this week. I mean, we're getting down to it here. It's the final 8. So Michael figures Kyle and Turner are probably turning on the leftovers because they know it's going to be easier for them to beat Terrence and Alyssa in the end. Not only in the competitions, but also in like a final 2 situation. Yeah, that's what happened. So Taylor and Brittany were both going around yesterday doing some damage control, saying like that final 3 was never a thing, yada, yada, yada. We've heard it a few times now. So then Taylor was talking to Alyssa in the living room, and Alyssa says, Joseph told me that I was your big backdoor target during your HOH week, which is true. But honestly, Alyssa didn't really become Taylor's target until after the power veto. It wasn't like Alyssa was her target all week. So anyway, Alyssa says, Joseph told me that he had my back and he was telling you not to target me. So I don't know if Joseph actually told her that, but like we know that that is not how it went down. Joseph definitely wanted Alyssa to go up on the block. He was pushing hard for it. And Taylor says, he's the one who told me to target you. So Taylor is like clearly frustrated in this moment. I mean, she has a freaking crush on Joseph, and she's hearing that Joseph was throwing her under the bus on the way out. It's got to be crushing in a different way. So, yeah, Taylor says, Joseph told me that you were laughing about taking the trip away from me in the POV competition. And Alyssa's like, no, I was torn up, and you can ask Brittany about it too. Yeah, you were torn up because you realized that you might have effed up your game, not that you like took the trip. So Taylor says, I feel really stupid right now. That makes me so sad. So Taylor's telling the story about how Joseph was the one that proposed the Final Four with her, Michael, and Brittany. And Alyssa's asking, did you want Kyle to use the power of veto to take me out? And Taylor admits, yes, I did. She's owning up to it. And Alyssa's like, thank you for being honest. I appreciate that. And I appreciate gameplay. Do you? Taylor says she just feels like a stupid girl with a crush now. Like, she feels like an idiot because all week she was so worried, like, what if Joseph doesn't come back? And now she's finding out that Joseph was throwing her under the bus. So Alyssa's like, Joseph told me that your showmance was fake. I don't know if Joseph actually told Alyssa that, but I know for a fact that Kyle did because I remember listening to that conversation. So, I mean, Joseph might have opened up about that during like that 4-hour combo that we didn't get to see. But Alyssa definitely at least heard about it from Kyle. So Taylor, again, she admits that it was fake, but she also says she did have an actual crush on him too. And she explains why the Fomance was born. People were giving Joseph crap for talking to her early on, saying she's an enemy, don't talk to her. And Alyssa is acting like she wasn't one of those people. She's like, wait, people were saying that? Oh my God. Do we need to bring up the that's enough comment from one Taylor, one HOH? So Taylor says, yeah, people have said some really nasty stuff about me. And Alyssa's like, I hope you know none of those things were ever said by me. Has anyone ever said that I said those things? And then she's telling Taylor, like, I'm so sorry to hear that you had to go through that. I'm sorry. It's not genuine from Alyssa. It's ridiculous. So anyway, later, Taylor and Monte are chatting in the golf bedroom. And I just want to remind you guys, Monty knows that Alyssa and Terrence have been told about the leftovers. Kyle told him about that. But Monty doesn't want to just come out and share that with the Brochella leftovers because he's kind of like playing the middle right now. But he is like dropping little hints here and there. So Monty and Taylor are putting some pieces together. Monty says it just seems too easy for all of Dyer to point their fingers at someone who's not here anymore and, you know, blame everything on this one person, Joseph. And Monty says, I think our worst fear came true. Dyer is making up whatever story is most convenient for them. Someone else in our Leftovers Alliance may have spilled information to Alyssa or Terrence. And then Joseph's back was against the wall. He knew the cat was out of the bag already, so he just starts like talking about all this stuff. Yeah, I mean, that's what happened. They're figuring it out. They know it must have been Kyle or Turner who spilled everything. So they just don't see Joseph spilling the beans on all this stuff unless he had to. Ding, ding, ding. Okay. So in other news, Brittany finally decides, yes, she will tell Alyssa about the leftovers. She already knows. So Brittany says it was started by Kyle and Turner, Joseph and Monty, and then they pulled in Michael, Brittany, and Taylor. Everyone was in it except for Alyssa and Terrence at this point. But Brittany says apparently it's over now. You know, Taylor and I are up on the block. Yeah, I would say it's probably over. So Brittany says for this week, it looks like Michael or Monty are the target. She says the leftovers plan moving forward, like Kyle and Turner, we're going to be the first to go from the alliance. Yeah, so I mean, she's saying all this stuff that Alyssa has already heard. So of course, Alyssa reports this back to Kyle and Turner, and she's like, Brittany told me not to tell anyone that I know, but like, blah, 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 blah. She already knew anyway. All right, so anyway, let's talk about the after party. Terrence, Kyle, Alyssa, and Turner, they all met up with Monty in the HOH room, and they solidify their plan for the week. They are going to try and take out Michael. Then it's going to be 5 versus 2 moving forward. It'll be all of them against Taylor and Brittany. So they were talking a bit more, but like it's all stuff that we've already heard. The same stuff that they've been comparing notes about. But I do want to note, they did not, as far as I know, officially solidify a 5-person alliance together. Right now, it still seems like it's After Party plus Monty. They haven't like fully brought him into this group yet. But yeah, that was last night. Also, Kyle was talking to the cameras at one point. He's so excited about how things have worked out. He feels like he's so protected on all sides again. And he's just so excited, and he loves America so much. He said he wants to make love to America's face. No. Okay, so that was last night. Today, the house guests are waiting for the POV competition. I believe they're doing the picks right now. I don't know if the feeds came back yet. But it's an important POV player pick. Because if Michael doesn't get to play, he's in trouble. So if you want to check back later, I will post the results for today's competition in the info box. Who are you rooting for this veto? I honestly don't know. I feel like things would stay really interesting if Michael were to win, but like I also don't want Taylor to leave either. Hi. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what I want to happen. I guess I just want to see whatever is going to cause the most drama at this point, right?
Sure.
Who do you want to win the veto?
Who do I want to win the veto? I'd love to see Michael win the veto just to chaos.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, then there'd have to be a replacement nominee. Okay. So anyway, I want to thank all of our super chatters. Yay! Jefferson Tucker, thank you so much. And Jefferson says, good timing. They just went to Pets for veto picks. Yay! Did they come back yet? Let me know.
You didn't get your little...
I don't have my phone over here right now. Usually I just check that really quickly. Gio Epe, thank you so much for the super chat. One of our OGs. And they said, much love right back at you. Jody Cortez, thank you so much. And Jody says, it's the weekend. Yeah, now. Lol, sorry. No, I'm resisting. Okay.
Yeah,
thank you.
Really, have you jaw wired shut?
Yeah. Dylan James, thank you so much. Now I'm thinking about it. Oh, thank you so much, Dylan. And Dylan says, you're amazing, Maddie. Love you, queen. Oh, thank you. So sweet. Mary Ellen Ludwig, thank you so much for the super chat. Deb Wicks, thank you so much for the super chat. And Deb says, so messy. Love the updates. It really is a friggin' mess. I can't even keep track of these people's lives anymore. It's just too much. William Dang, thank you so much for the super chat. William says, people on Reddit are glorifying Kyle as Paul. Blech. No, ew.
Paul wasn't that great either.
Yeah.
So whatever.
I don't enjoy Kyle. But he is a great villain. Makes for a great villain. Music Lover 21, thank you so much for your super chat. And they said, Kyle's gameplay reminds me of Nicole Franzel's. You mean just like selling out everybody and whenever? I mean, I could see that.
Laying in bed and selling out everybody?
Pretty much, yeah.
Laying on a pool floaty, selling out everybody?
No, not the pool floaty. All right. So anyway, thank you all so much for being here. Bowie. Hi, good boy.
Oh.
Good boy. We are going to get out of here for the day, and we will be back on tomorrow for the episode recap, and we will be back on Monday for the next chat.
2-hour-long recap.
No, I hope not. Oh my God. But again, check back later. I will post the player picks and the POV winner in the info. Stop trying to make me yawn!
If applicable.
Yeah. Guys, seriously. I'm not like... Whatever. All right. We will see you all tomorrow. And until next time, much love. Bye, everybody. Bye.